Hey, welcome to A Moment of Sage. I hope you got a couple minutes to spend with us here. I had an interesting discussion recently. I have a number of friends who are Muslim, known them a long time. One of them up to 30 years. Nice people. We're buddies. And we accept each other for our beliefs. And we get into really good discussions about it. It's important to discuss. But the subject came up the other day about ISIS and Hamas and all this going on. And one of the guys made a comment. One of the Muslims, about the ISIS, Hamas, those groups, the terrorists, the radicals. And I kind of chuckled. And he goes, what's funny? What's funny about that? I said, you're the radical. You're the radical. And me? Yeah, you. Let me give you a little thing here. This is it's Islam 101. Okay. You see this term? These are some Arabic terms. Dar el Salam. Dar al Harb. This dar means abode or house. So this would be the abode or house of peace. Salam. You've heard them greet each other. Salam, coming and going. Salam. Just as very similar, because they're both Semitic languages, very similar to the Jewish shalom. So that'd be a abode or house of peace. And then you have the Dar el Harb, which is the abode or the house of war. This house of war, abode of war, that's everywhere Sharia law is not in effect. In Saudi Arabia, you would be living in the Dar el Salam, in the abode of peace. The goal of Islam, the purpose of one of the aspects of jihad, is to conquer and turn abodes of war into abodes of peace. And how do you do that? By conquering, overtaking, establishing Sharia law. That's considered the abode of peace. So that's the goal of one of the goals of jihad. Jihad has two meanings. There's the internal jihad, which is a Muslim trying to strive and do what is the will of Muhammad and reject his carnal nature. And actually, that's the same thing in Christianity. That would be our carnal nature. Whether it's sex, drugs, rock and roll, or whatever. We would try to crucify that and live a godly, righteous life. So Islam wants to turn the world into Dar el Salam, and they have to use war to do that. Usually they did for hundreds and hundreds of years. Now you see how they come into communities, usually having needs to be taken care of by the government, and multiply. You see it happening all over England. You have cities now here in America, in Michigan, and other places, where there's sections cordoned off, and it's Sharia law. They practice there, and they govern themselves quite a bit. So that's the goal of Islam. So those that my friend wanted to refer to as the terrorists, as the radicals, they're the fundamentalists. And there's nothing wrong with fundamentals. Basically, you go watch any sports team, every so often they work on fundamentals, going over the fundamentals. In subjects like math, English, whatever, you work on the fundamentals. It's important. One of my former mentors, Dave Hunt, he was a CPA, and he says that there are many CPAs in jail today, in prison, because they didn't practice the fundamentals, which would be what? Honesty, right? Honesty, integrity, in keeping the numbers. Those guys who are doing all this that we call the radicals, they are really the fundamentalists. It's actually those who claim Islam is peace. Those are the radicals. They've kind of started their own religion. It reminds me, during the 1800s, as a church historian and an apologist, I can reference people like Ellen G. White and Joseph Smith and Charles Taze Russell, who came along in the 1800s and all of a sudden said, all Christianity is wrong. We are the true Christians, each individual of their group. We are true Christians. Well, it kind of reminds me of these folks. They kind of started a religion of their own. They use the same book and honor the same prophet, and pray to the same God, Allah, but they're looking at it, interpreting in a whole different light, and ignoring much that's written in the Quran and the Hadith. They're the ones that are radicals. It's the fundamentalists who strive to achieve this, and will use jihad and other means to accomplish it. So I had to laugh at that. It seems like someone didn't send Muhammad the memo that Islam is peace. He led over 80 campaigns. No, he didn't lead. He planned over 80 campaigns, and I don't mean that they rode on horses carrying signs, vote for Muhammad, vote for Muhammad. That ain't the kind of campaign I'm talking about. They came swinging swords and cut your head off. He planned over 80 of those, and he led in the area of 27 of them himself. You know, he did get old. It was kind of hard to go and fight, just like King David, and also he had a lot of paperwork back at the crib, and he had 4 wives he had to deal with. But the fact is that that is the goal, and like I say, someone didn't send him the memo, because they've used war, jihad, to accomplish trying to gain this goal of Dar es-Salaam.